We are recording. Let me get a drink of water real quick. All right. So, Paul, welcome to another episode of Dream Nexus podcast. I'm with me, Paul Dean, man found standing. How you doing, Paul?
Good, thank you.
Good. We're at the New Haven Ceremonial Grounds, just checking out the property, doing a little interview, and yeah, just having fun.
Getting into the tall grass and getting bugs on us. So.
right. I've been peeling layers of chiggers off my feet. But yeah, we got to see all the beautiful property you got, and see what's possible with everything we're trying to build out here. And yeah, it's exciting. It's just all that potential that's there. I mean, it's kind of hard to see some of it because it's all grown up right now, but a lot of it looked like it'd be nothing to clear out. There's plenty of space though, and as we continue to expand it, they can link it all together and everything. So
yeah. We've got 440 acres about right there, and plenty of room. We just want to start building and bringing people together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I'd like you to share is your story about finding this property and like what kept you coming kind of back to this space. And yeah,
it could be a long story, but basically we moved from out west, sight unseen, to Missouri because it felt that I was supposed to do that there. So packed up the business and my house, and a friend rented us out a house and a warehouse, and so we just moved sight unseen and came down here. And then for the next year we traveled around Missouri looking for the place to live, and we chose Ava there. And then from Ava we're looking for a place to buy some land and to grow it and develop it here. And we were taking out trips and looking at things and stuff. And so we drove down this highway, and it's about 14 miles past Ava. Here, drove down this highway, and we're coming down through this area, and my wife, and my brother-in-law were all kind of in the truck, and we're like, oh, this feels good. This feels really great. We really like this energy. This is great. And we come around this corner, and this Chapel Grove was for sale. It's 28 acres down here. With the creek there, the Bryant Creek, and nice property here. And so we liked it, and we called him up, and he wanted way too much money for it, way too much money. And so we skipped that, and we drove around again. About, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months later, we were coming back the other way after being out, and come back the other way, and we were like, oh, this feels really great. This feels great. We like this. And we come around the corner, and here it is, Chapel Grove again. And we're like, okay. And so then we said, okay, let's just go in and buy it. And we negotiated with it, and makes a long story short, we eventually just bought it and was able to get it for a really good price. The first time, Alf and I, my brother-in-law, when we pulled in here, he got out, and all of a sudden all these butterflies came and landed all over him. It was like that, and it was just so wonderful. A nice spring day, and it was just great. So we just kind of felt called that this is the place that we need to start developing and do good things with.
Yeah, I feel it too. It's definitely once you get down into this valley, there's something just about the energy in this space that it does feel incredibly good, and just like it's full of this potential or just this crazy energy. And it's really neat. Like the past couple of festivals you had out here, it's like really amplifies that. And it's like, it was kind of like, because I've been out here for ceremony, it's like the feeling you have when you're coming out here, and then like when the festival was here, it's like that's the direction that feeling is at, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, because like you can't X marks the spot it, but that's kind of what it should. It's like a microcosm of it, know. So it was definitely awesome to experience.
Butterflies.
Yeah. But yeah, so gosh, I just feel like there's like so much to talk about. It's like where to start. So yeah, we just did your interview thing for the website there, talking about Equality Keys. If you want to say a few things about that at all, and I can link the video in the description so you don't have to be redundant, but whatever you feel like kind of sharing from what you had said earlier.
Yeah. couple years ago, I bought my first Bitcoin and started really understanding it. I mean, before it was like, oh, Bitcoin, okay, computer money, what's going on there? But I really understood what it was all about, because the governments are out there controlling money and robbing us, stealing our value from us. You know, you put $100 into savings, a year later it's worth, you know, $95 or whatever, and less and less and less, and they keep stealing that money through inflation there away from us. And it doesn't stop. I mean, for the whole history, written history, governments keep stealing money from the people, and they keep taking their fiat currencies, and eventually they become worthless. I'm so sorry, and the people suffer, you know, there. And with the world economy, where the governments are all interlinked and trading is all interlinked, now America goes down, you know, China's going down, Europe's going down. There's going to be disasters of epic proportions financially all across the globe. And I started learning about that and saying, oh, here's a solution. Here's a way that you can go and store value. You know, have a computer currency, you know, Bitcoin there, that isn't controlled by governments. They can't go and manipulate it. They can't go and make more of it. It's a set value there, and it's going to be there, and it can increase in value as people supply and demand, you know, people use it. And that was exciting, and I was learning about that. Oh, great, you know, we can step away from these corrupt laws and the corrupt banking system and stepped into something good. But I also saw the main flaws in the Bitcoin there. There's a few of them, but my biggest one is it's not backed by assets. You know, it's backed by work. You know, the computer's doing the work. And I thought, you know, why don't we develop a cryptocurrency that the people can use, and linked with nonprofit, tax-exempt organizations that are caring about the people in the world. You know, you have these nonprofit organizations that, you know, hey, look, send me your $100, and 98 of it goes into the pockets of the people, and 2% goes out to help the starving kid in Africa. You know, that's just ridiculous. You know, we want the nonprofits that actually are dedicated to going out there and doing good. And so we can go and turn around and use this currency and uses that as a method of exchange. You know, you're selling your necklace, I'll buy your necklace. Here, have some of these coins. And then you want something over here, you know, some garden fresh produce over there. You take your equality keys and you buy that, and it goes back over here. They need something from me, and we just go and cycle it and have a small little 0.5% transaction fee on each one. But that transaction fee goes into donating to the nonprofits that turn around and then use that to back the currency. You know, they can buy gold and silver, but more importantly is, let's go out and buy, you know, have a nonprofit that's engaged in helping low-income families get into housing. So go buy a housing complex, and then you can turn around and rent it, and all those rents are tax exempt. You know, the asset is the land and the buildings and like that. And so you might go and buy this $1 million housing complex, and in 5 years it might be worth $2 million. Plus you've collected rents over that whole time and things. And so if those nonprofits then will turn around and put that money back into the equality keys, the value keeps going up and up and up. And so it was really about the people coming together and using it and starting to build value with it. And we've got right now some nonprofits committed, and we estimate, even though the keys haven't even been launched really out there, there's a little bit going out there. You know, I would say maybe 10, 20,000 keys. We have $50 million backing it in assets already that have been committed by the nonprofits to back it. And so it's a good starting place, and then where we're going to go and take it. And right now we're in the kind of the beta version. We use the equality keys on the Waves platform that we have right there for a transaction, but we're in the process of building our own with our own blockchain, all independent of anybody's other systems. It's all going to have voting rights and things that you can do with it. And it's going to be a currency run by the people, for the people, with asset backing. So I'm really excited about the potential that we have for this to grow value. People's, you know, instead of losing your money in your savings account, this money will keep growing and growing and growing and growing. You know.
That's what I like about it is it really is, it can continue to expand and gain abundance and wealth pretty much indefinitely, and that's kind of your. And I don't want to take any of the words out of your mouth about it because I'd like you to be able to say it, but like, it's just the basis of what we're trying to do with this is eventually to where we aren't so reliant on money or the, I wouldn't say necessarily even just money, but on so much of the culture that's attached to it of separation and division and competition and suffering.
Very much so. I mean, there's people in the world starving to death right now, but the world produces 9 times more food than the people on the planet can eat. Why are they starving to death? Because of lack of love. And so we see this as a way to go in and start getting people's mindset from the current economic system and use something else that builds value, and then we can shift to something else that's even better. Definitely there's some wonderful visions down the road that what we can do with it, but simple things like life-changing things like shifting from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week. It can be easily established once the people get together and start organizing and doing things, and we can go and do that, plus a whole lot more. And I don't want to get into that too much now, but let's build up the first one.
Right. Yeah.
Great plans.
Phase one first.
Yeah, great plans 100 years down the road or 50 years down the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been working on this project?
Oh, gosh. It's really kind of 2 years ago into Bitcoin, and about 6 months later, it was like, here's the problems, here's the fixes, let's go and do it on there. And I started building it and getting computer programmers to come in and start building it. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, but we scrapped our first one just because of the computer programmers working on it was sneaking in back doors to try to steal all the money. So we scrapped that, and then we were putting together. So it's kind of really been a process of thinking and waiting till the right time and right place. Mm-hmm. But it's about 1.5 years of this contemplating and putting it all together. So now we're at the stage of, okay, we've got enough people committed, enough people together. Let's go out and do it and build it and go with it.
That's very exciting. It I imagine has been a very arduous process for you, just because we're taking like a Bitcoin or something like that. It's an incredibly complex system, and it's kind of like you got to really got a chance to see or to have the market test out a cryptocurrency to see how it performed, where there would be failures, where there would be successes, and be able to learn from that and adapt something new that's just as good, if not better. And
and cryptocurrencies are in baby land. I mean, we're getting up to about 1% of the population using it, knowing it, and once we hit that mark, literally over the next year, we're going to go to 2% and 3% right there. And so, and from there, it's going to keep going. I mean, there's some countries, well, a country in Africa, I think 60 Minutes did a video on it, very great and educational there, but a lot of their adult population have their phone and they use the currency, their currency that they're using for their transactions all over there. And I think it's like 70-80% of the people are using it, and that's really where it's going. No more carrying around this watered down government manipulated money in our pockets. We're going to have our cell phone or whatever we have, and have everything through there. So great things ahead, just because we're really at the infancy. Imagine when the population hits 10% or 20% or 50%, 90%, because it will get there. It's like credit cards in the late 60s. You don't need that. Don't do that. Doing that. Now everybody's got one, and everyone's got 10 of them in their wallet.
And now it's all on your phone. And
yeah. Right there.
So trying to think of another question for you. That was mostly what I wanted to cover with what you had, let's talk about New Haven a little bit. So this is going to be definitely a part of it. It's one of the nonprofit organizations that's going to be associated with it. So that's another one that you own as well. So tell me a little bit about New Haven.
Yeah, New Haven is a Native American church. Gosh, it was really back in 2003 that I became heavily involved in the Native American church, and I got adopted through some expertise in essential oils and stuff. I became a medicine man to get that legal protection and healers. And when I moved from out west to Missouri, I was given the rights and the authority to go start out my own independent branch of the Native American church out here. And so after I was thinking it for a while, I felt called to do it. And so we started doing it. And really it's a place for, no matter where you're at and you're learning in your life, if you want to learn more, come on down, because that's what we're here. You go and you find out where your relationship is with the Creator and go and develop that further. The Native American church has just a couple little philosophies there. It's number one, the Creator, whether you call him Yahweh or God or whatever you want to call him. He created this universe, and this universe and this planet that we're on is for our learning and growing and development. We're like caterpillars that are going to emerge into butterflies. It's an emergence. Whatever is true, right and true for you is right and true for you, but you can always learn and gather more truth. More truth. The way my wife says it is, God is truth, and we can always be learning more truth and greater things. So, people who've been atheists come out here and they realize, oh, there is something going on. There is something more that we can't see. There is this connection. Maybe I don't like to call it God, but maybe it's something else. Or other people who've been, hardcore other religions. Very much strict structured religions. They start realizing that, it's all about love. It's all about caring for others and all about doing good. So. It's fun place to get together, enjoy, hang out with people, enjoy. We have different ceremonies and different events, and it's all just about how we can learn and grow and edify ourselves spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, all that.
Yeah, it's done a number on me. So I've grown so much from being out here, and in my relationship with the Creator, and just in so many ways that I never imagined would be possible. And yeah, I love this place. So I'm super grateful for you for facilitating everything that you have here, and I'm sure tons of other people are too. So yeah, is there anything else that you'd like to say? I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you've got a meeting not too long. So.
Yeah, it just comes down to, I like the saying, it's when a group of people come together. It doesn't have to be a large group. It can just be a small group, and we keep on working and working and working. It can get done. You want to move the mountain, we can move it. More people, the easier it is to move and stuff. But really, it's all about, you want to see the world change. You want to see the world change, then change the world. It's up to you. Take a stand and start doing it. Make your vote count in what you do, where you shop, what you do, and just go out and do it. Because when enough of us come in, creates that, all of a sudden, that avalanche where the whole world follows, and we can change the world.
Powerful words, Paul. Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, and I'll see you around soon.
Thank you.
All right.